The moment the judge read the verdict, my ex-husband's entire world collapsed, and I was the one who made it happen. My name is Emily Carter, and until last year, I believed my life in Dallas, Texas was solid. Stable marriage, safe home, predictable routine. I wasn't rich, but I worked hard and earned every penny of my freedom. My husband, Mark, was charming in that polished corporate way, always talking about big deals, bigger futures, and our dreams. I believed in him so deeply that I put my entire savings, $112,000, into a property investment he claimed we'd own together. A small rental home on the east side of Dallas. It was supposed to be our first real asset, our future, our security. I thought we were building a life. Instead, he was building an escape plan. I didn't know it yet, but that house, that property, that investment would become the battlefield where everything inside me shattered, and where I eventually rebuilt myself stronger than ever. And the moment I first felt something was off was so small, almost forgettable, but it changed everything. It started with a smile. Not his, hers. One Tuesday evening, I stopped by the rental property unexpectedly. I wanted to surprise Mark with dinner. We'd been distant lately, and I thought maybe a kind gesture could reconnect us. When I pulled into the driveway, another car was already there. A red SUV I didn't recognize. I walked inside and heard laughter. A woman's laughter. My heart stopped. When I entered the living room, I saw her sitting on the couch with Mark, legs crossed toward him, holding a glass of wine he had poured. She had long dark hair, expensive nails, perfect makeup. Someone who looked like she practiced lying in the mirror. Mark jumped up, acting startled, pretending everything was normal. "Emily, I wasn't expecting you." He stuttered. He avoided my eyes. He introduced her as a contractor. A contractor, drinking wine with him in a half-finished rental home at 7 p.m.? Sure, but I kept quiet, because betrayal doesn't need proof on paper. The body feels it first. Over the next week, more cracks appeared. He wouldn't come home until late. He hid his phone under his pillow. And one night, I heard him whisper into his phone at 2 a.m. But the real blow came when I checked our joint bank account. $84,000 missing. Transferred quietly, without me knowing, without my permission. And right there, in a single moment, I realized Mark hadn't just cheated on me with a woman. He cheated on me with greed. He didn't just steal my trust. He stole my money. I confronted him the next morning. He didn't deny it. He just smirked and said the words that burned into me like acid. "You were just dead weight. Emily, I built everything. That money? I deserve it more than you." That moment broke me. I fell onto the bathroom floor. After he walked out, my body shaking, tears choking my breath. I felt small, invisible, ruined. For 3 days, I barely slept. I cried until my eyes swelled. I wondered how someone I loved could leave me with nothing but emptiness. But on the 4th day, something changed. I didn't cry. I didn't tremble. I didn't feel weak. I felt cold, focused, sharp. And I whispered to my reflection, "You picked the wrong woman to betray." Revenge wasn't born out of hatred. It was born out of survival. I made myself a promise that day. I will take back what's mine, and I will expose him to everyone he fooled. I began quietly. First, I visited the county recorder's office. I needed the property deed. I wanted to see exactly what he did behind my back. What I found made my stomach twist. He had transferred the entire rental property into his name alone. Forgery. Fraud. My signature wasn't mine. He underestimated me. He thought I was emotionally broken, that I would crumble and disappear. But he forgot one thing. I know him better than anyone, and I know every hole in his defenses. I met with a real estate attorney, then a financial crimes specialist, then a private investigator. Piece by piece, the truth unfolded. He used stolen funds. He forged documents. And the woman in the red SUV, her name was Kelly, and she wasn't just a contractor. She was helping Mark funnel money, my money, into a fake business account. They were planning to sell the rental house for profit and run off together. I felt sick, but I stayed calm, because now I had what I needed: evidence, proof, a strategy. I told no one, not even my closest friends. Revenge can't be loud when it's planned, only when it lands. And when I finally set the trap, it was with a steady hand. The setup was simple: a property inspection, a fake one scheduled by me. Mark and Kelly had to be there because it was their chance to show the house before attempting to sell it. What they didn't know was that the inspector was actually the private investigator I hired, and that I had arranged for 2 police officers and a financial crimes agent to be waiting in unmarked cars outside. The moment I walked into the property, the air felt electric. Mark looked annoyed. Kelly looked smug. But I felt nothing, just purpose. "This won't take long," I said, when the investigator began asking questions about ownership, finances, and signatures. Mark got defensive. Kelly rolled her eyes. And then came the thumbnail moment, the visual explosion. The front door swung open. 2 officers stepped inside. Badges, flashlights, authority. "Mark Carter," one asked, "we need to speak with you about property fraud, financial theft, and document forgery." Mark froze. Kelly's face drained of color, and I stepped aside, arms crossed, watching the truth crush him. He looked at me, panicked, desperate. "Emily, you did this?" I leaned in, whispering the words he once threw at me. "You deserve it more than me, right?" They cuffed him. They escorted Kelly out next for her involvement. Neighbors gathered outside. Phones recorded. Whispers spread. He wanted a public victory. He got a public downfall. The legal battle lasted months. But I won. The judge awarded me heavy checkmark full ownership of the rental property, heavy checkmark restitution for the stolen $84,000, heavy checkmark additional damages. Mark received 18 months in state custody and a permanent mark on his financial record. Kelly fled the state, but the courts still held her partially liable. The day I walked through the rental house again, this time as the sole owner, I felt the weight lift from my chest. The betrayal didn't destroy me. It refined me. I learned that revenge isn't about hurting someone. It's about taking back your power, piece by piece, until the person who tried to break you is forced to watch you rise. And now, whenever I pass a mirror, I no longer see the woman who fell to the bathroom floor in tears. I see the woman who stood back up, who planned, who conquered, who survived. And if you're listening to my story today, remember this: you can't control who betrays you, but you can control how you rise afterward. And sometimes, rising is the revenge. Hit like, share this with someone who needs strength today, and subscribe to Revenge Uncut. Your one click brings us closer to our first milestone, 1,000 subscribers, and helps us continue bringing these powerful stories to life.